Welcome to Independent RX Forum with the National Community Pharmacists Association, America's leading advocate and business education provider for independent community pharmacists. Independent RX Forum is powered by RX Connection.
Hi, and welcome to NCPA's official podcast, Independent RX Forum, our first in-studio episode. I'm Sam Manis, author of QAM, and I write some magazine articles as well. I'm here with NCPA CEO Doug Hoy. Doug, what do you think?
Hey, the media studio looks great. This is going to allow NCPA to have a lot more flexibility and versatility to reach our members where they are, because we know our members are consuming content in all kinds of different ways. So this is, think of a buffet of media consumption. We're allowing our members to step up to the buffet and start filling their plate.
So why did NCPA decide this was really important to do?
Well, we've noticed the trends. I mean, we've seen how people consume media in so many different ways. I mean, going back not that long ago for you, a young guy like you, but going back 20 years, people really had only a few different channels to consume media.
Right.
And now there's so many different ways that people can consume media, and in particular videos. I did an executive update a number of years ago about a study that had come out showing that the attention span of a goldfish had actually surpassed the attention span of a human. And that just goes to show that videos are important, and those short clips are important to be able to offer to our members. And just one other example back at home, my oldest son, who's 22 and just graduated from college, he constantly is watching videos. That is how he consumes information, is watching short videos on his phone. So we know the world has changed. We know that we want to be able to offer video content, audio content, written content, again, that buffet of different forms of information to help our members, and so NCPA can connect with our members.
Right, and that short form video thing is very real. I mean, that's true of me as well, all of my friends. I mean, we have to get on there. We have to be present, right? But we're doing this for the podcast, right? We started this thing 4 years ago. The demand has increased every year, the frequency. I mean, there's a lot of conversations to have in this industry. So can you tell me a little more about why the studio is important to the future of the podcast?
Yeah, the studio gives us the ability to have one sort of a home for the podcast and a higher quality. I mean, just like these very invasive microphones in front of us, that's going to allow us to have better quality. We're going to be on video. It also gives us a place. So, for example, our president, Kristen Riddle, she was in town a couple of weeks ago to attend a congressional event, and the studio gives us an opportunity to have a sit down with her. Or in the fall, our committees come in. We have what's called Committee Forum at NCPA, where we bring in about, roughly 75 of some of the best and brightest independent pharmacy owners from around the country to help inform NCPA policy, NCPA direction, and to help us keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on with independent pharmacy. When some of those pharmacy owners are in town, we can use the studio to do either short video, long video, do a podcast. I mean, it just gives us so much more flexibility to have a nicely designed studio, great lighting, great accoutrements here in the room.
Okay. And then, like you said, we're going to use it for more than just the podcast. So let's talk a little bit more about those uses, like fly-in, for example.
Yeah, we have our fly-in coming up. Again, we're going to have over 300 independent pharmacy owners in town, and that'll be a great opportunity for them to come in, and we can do short videos. Like I know our Developing Opportunities Committee, for example, before the studio, they had some of the developing opportunity, the pharmacy owners on that committee, provide short tips about something that's working for them in their pharmacy that's, helping them be more profitable, helping them serve their patients better. And they were good, but the audio was a little not so good. The lighting was so-so. And now we have a professional studio where it looks good, sounds great, and that'll be even better content for our members.
I mean, like you said, we have the subject matter experts. We have the advocates that are really pushing things on the Hill. And the studio now means that we can bring it to those people, to the audience, in a whole new way and across all kinds of platforms. So is there anything else you
Yeah,
want to add?
the studio has a little bit of a story, so I want to, tip
Yeah.
my hat to our senior vice president of communications, Jack Mosloom, because it was several years ago. It was probably at least 4 to 5 years ago that he said, "Well, why don't we convert a different room in the building to a studio?"
Right.
And I thought, well, that's an interesting idea, but it had a slow germination period, and I didn't forget that suggestion though, and I thought that's we need that. We need, and as media has expanded, as so like our LinkedIn followers, for example, that's quintupled. It's gone from 5,000 to over 25,000 just in the last couple of years. So as the sources of media and the way people are consuming their media have changed, so are we, and so we're adapting to that.
Mm.
The other thing about the podcast, speaking of adapting, is yeah, some of our team members came to me about the podcast probably, I don't know, 8 years ago,
Okay.
and said, "We need to do a podcast." And at the time, everyone and their brother was doing a podcast. I mean, anyone who went down to Micro Center or out of business Radio Shack, whatever the equivalent is, went online and had a microphone, was doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're not going to do another flipping podcast with an audience of 2 people, like so many podcasts out there. And so I dismissed it. We had some very spirited debates about it. And eventually I said, no, we're just, and the investment was, $100,000 or something like that. Well, speaking of adapting, here we are.
Right.
And I think the podcasts are a fantastic way for us to reach members where they are. Just one, for instance, John Beckner did a podcast recently with a pharmacy owner up in Rhode Island who had started a cash-only pharmacy.
Right.
And cash only, that's a great interest. That can be a good fit for some of our members, depending on their situation. And this owner was able to walk through kind of what's worked, his journey as to how he got to this cash pharmacy and what worked, what hasn't worked, some tips on both. And, for someone interested in even thinking about starting a cash pharmacy, that podcast was gold. And now maybe that's 500 people, maybe that's 200 people, maybe that's 5,000 people. But being able to serve up content that really meets our members where they are, which is what NCPA is all about, is meeting our members where they are and connecting with them.
Absolutely.
That's what this media studio is going to allow us to do. So we're really excited about it. Again, we're excited about what it's going to be able to do to connect with our members.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for this conversation. And we will have plenty more on-camera conversations for you moving forward.
We're going to have to dress better, I suppose, now that we're on camera.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to get this tailored.
Yeah. I guess I should have thought of that when I would have worn a jacket like you if I'd known.
Well, next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. For future episodes, you can tune in wherever you get your podcasts, but now you can also follow us at Com Pharmacy on YouTube, or just head to our website where we'll be posting the videos as well. But for now, thanks for joining.